Hi friends, this is Sarah from Crafting and Relaxing. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. I have a sped up process video of making a journal today, and I set a timer on this, and first thing out of the gate, I messed up the cover. I wanted to fold the bottom and have it be a pocket, and I just wasn't thinking, and I got in a hurry and cut that first piece of paper. So then I grabbed a second piece of paper. I had selected the pieces of paper that I was going to use before I set the timer. And I've been watching Pink Oddbird a lot. She's a junk journaler. She's super fancy, has a really detailed style, but she folds all the papers before she cuts them. So she goes through and folds them and then cuts them to the length that she wants and stuff. And I've been watching that, and so I'm using that a little bit with the pockets and stuff here, you'll see. But the way she does it, she ends up with a 12-inch strip of paper that's been folded in the middle sometimes, and because I'm a card maker, I don't always want my stuff folded up. So I was just experimenting. This paper is basic gray, of course, so they don't make paper anymore. It's old. The corners were dented. So that's why sometimes you'll see me shave off that tiny strip, like 1/8 of an inch off the edge, just because the corner is tattered and I didn't love it. Just looking at it, see, that's what I'm doing. I'm saying, okay, I don't need that. And I am folding and laying out. When I was first making journals, I would cut the paper slowly and carefully. Now I'm stopping to think, okay, I want a pocket. Where do I want my pocket? I would spend forever rearranging the pages and that kind of thing. So I think right now we're on a 30-minute timer, and I'll show you the 15-minute marks along the way so you can see this whole thing is done and sewn together in real life in less than an hour and tidied up. Now, of course, it's not decorated. I'm experimenting with the idea of putting kits in my Etsy store so that the buyer can decorate it and put all their ephemera and have a great time. Now, on this one, I scored it at 5 1/4 so that it's a little bit narrower. I don't have to worry about it sticking out, and it gave me a bigger tip out. I have a tutorial series in my channel. I have a playlist called Journal Making, and it has a 4-part set of videos on making journals like this. So the point of this is not for a beginner journal maker to watch this and be like, oh, I've totally got it. But just to show you different ways. In this one, to save time, I kept the corners square because rounding them takes longer because of the pockets and all of that. I got out this cut apart sheet, and I, about halfway through this bike, thought I shouldn't have done this. I'm on a timer. I'm making a video. Yeah, the cut aparts, I don't like the little nubbies. But anyway, I wanted a few things for this journal that weren't like school. And I thought, well, a bicycle isn't too much, and I always like stars. So anyway, for speed, don't round the corners, don't ink the edges of the pages, because if you do, as you add layers, pockets, fold outs, etc., you would want to ink those so that they match. Is that punch not fun or what? It's a border punch of circles, and I love it. I think I picked that one up at a garage sale. So 15 minutes, and we have almost all the pages. We've got pockets forming, tip outs. We're looking pretty good. I have a few more pages to go, and I'm just trying to decide, what do I have? Do I need some pockets at the bottom? Do I need some pockets on the sides? So I'm scoring again. I think actually I don't leave that strip on the left as a tip out. I think I turn it into pockets, but it could be. This is a really clean style journal, but sometimes I take fun shaped ephemera and glue it to those. So you can see I have my scraps. Part of the thing for speed is I'm trying to stay really organized as I go. Just cruise along. Now, I'm putting the adhesive on these pockets before I sew it together. That's a little easier. You're not messing with the whole sewn together journal. But the reason that I don't do the pockets across the bottom, the one inside the front cover and the other one, is this is the very first journal I've ever made where I did what Pink Oddbird did, where I didn't cut and I didn't have How do I explain that? Traditionally, I have cut up the middle of the journal and had a pocket on the left page and a pocket on the right page. This is the first time that I did it differently. So see that one on the cover right there? That's one giant pocket. I didn't cut it in any way. And I don't bone fold the cover. I just do it softly with my fingers. I don't want the front to be a hard crease, and I don't want it to crack or anything. Basic gray paper doesn't usually crack though. I didn't put adhesive on those pockets across the bottom because I was worried, would they buckle? Would they be too bulky? Would they push out a little and I would need to trim them? No, I don't think so. I think they were perfect. I think I could have put the adhesive on them before I stitched it together and it wouldn't have mattered one bit. But you'll see that I do it after. Here, I'm trying to find a color to use. The first color that I chose had a red in it, in the stripe that I liked. See it up there in the left-hand corner, that burgundy red. This one has an orangey red. I did not want to stitch this together. I'm kind of anti-orangey red. So I was trying to find another color that I liked that didn't accent that. And so I went with this blue, gray, steely kind of color, which I like, of course, and I think goes with the paper. And because this is a clean style journal, super straight lines, all of that, I put the strings on the inside so that they're not dangling and making a mess on the outside. I did not trim that cover paper at all. It's still 12 inches wide. So then I stopped and took it away and trimmed it down just a tiny bit. I didn't tidy my interior pages. You'll see in the tutorial series that I go through and make sure they align, because if you make them all exact same size, the ones in the middle stick out a little bit more. Yeah, I don't care. I learned from my friend Jamie when she was making her very first journal ever in my craft room like 2 weeks ago that that's just fun, and you can turn the pages better because they stick out a little. I don't know if you guys agree, but it seemed like a good reason. Here I'm stitching it together. Again, there's a tutorial on this. I am just cruising. This video is sped up 3 or 4 times, but I'm actually moving quickly. So in one place I slowed it down, I think right here, because you couldn't even see. I was like lightning. And I was just experimenting. I had waited really late to make my basic gray collab project. 30 minutes, here we go. And I am almost have the knot tied. And then I kind of wanted to do this experiment and see how fast can I put it together. I am not good at tying knots, but I think what you would want, what's that called? The one where it goes right over left, left over right, a square knot? I probably didn't do it right. Sometimes my knots come undone, that's okay. So now I'm putting the adhesive inside the cover on that very front pocket that I was telling you about. And like I said, there was no buckling, there was no problem. I have been cutting those papers in error. It's slower. It probably makes the journal a little less sturdy. It was just extra work for me. And this actually really helps contribute to the super clean style of the journal. And there we go. It's quick. I like to have pockets inside my front and back cover. In every notebook that I have around the house, spiral notebook, journal, whatever, I always have stuff tucked in, so I need pockets. I just assume that all of you need pockets when I make journals too. Maybe you don't. Maybe you say, why does this lady put so many pockets in things? And this one is the same. It's just a little bit narrower because it's not the journal cover. It's a pocket in it. Getting that adhesive down. This is Dollar Tree adhesive. I have had good luck with it, but it hasn't been on the market that long. So if anybody's had problems with it, with cards or journals, please message me, leave me a comment below, let me know. Remember, I messed up my first cover. The second cover has text right there and it's upside down. And I knew that was going to happen, but I'm just covering it up right this minute so that I don't forget. And I used a limited amount of adhesive, and I used the Barely Arts glue. Art glitter glue would work too. It wouldn't buckle. And then I just smoothed it down. It's a nice little accent. You could layer over it. You could put the year on it, whatever you want to do. Because I messed up the cover, the red numbers and letters don't match. See, I would have gone with that burgundy and then that one. So I'm putting the cream colored ones with this journal. Now I'm taking all the scraps and just turning them into journaling cards. So when the person purchases this kit, they could either take these and make more pockets, tuck spots, die cut them, use them as ephemera, or they have these things to journal on. This one I'm just using as a fun little accent. I can't leave it totally plain. It's just, I don't know, it's not in my nature. I have to give people points of inspiration to work with. I messed up. I had a plan for the page. Then I turned the thing over and put the adhesive on the wrong spot. I really need to take a pen or a pencil and put adhesive on when I flip stuff over to make pockets or mark it. You'll see I do that in other places, especially if I'm listening to music or watching Netflix, talking to friends. I have to change my strategy because I put the adhesive in the wrong places, but it works out. This one, I was going to staple it or do a pocket or something. I was trying to figure it out. Then I decided, oh, I know. Let's make a tuck spot over here. So here, I took the pen. The pen marks where the adhesive goes so that it ends up right on the page. Pen, pencil, whatever you use. I'm trying for speed, so I don't want to mess up and need to take the time to improvise. I got my head in the way, so I had to edit it out a little bit for you, but just a tuck spot at the bottom of the page to put stuff in. Then I have that circle that I die cut out for the front or punched out, so I had to tidy that up, make it square. This one, I could have left it as a flip out where you attach something or write behind it, but I just made this adorable little pocket. Little tiny things like this that you throw in a scrap of paper can be an inspiration point and things turn out fun. This cute little pocket is one of my favorite things in this journal. Then I'm going through one of my books of tags and ephemera, and I pulled that out. This is a little complex style-wise, and also I'm not sure how complex I would want to make my kits for Etsy because I don't want to send people things where they're like, why did this weird lady send this to me? We didn't have any tuck spots yet in this journal, and the first one I picked up had the burgundy and it didn't pop out on the page because the page is red. You could use, there we go, we're at 45 minutes. You could use wet adhesive, you could use whatever you want to glue this down. I have a couple of rolls of adhesive on the counter of different widths, and so I'm just slapping it down there as quick as I can. I found that on my tuck spots, if I layer them, they just look better. I can take a 1-inch strip and put it on a page, but in the end, I'm not happy with it. I wish that I would have layered it up. So I just cut one of the scraps to probably 1.5 inch wide. So I have a 1/4 inch on each, and it just looks a little better. It doesn't really matter where you put it on the page. You could put it in the middle. You could put it left, right. It doesn't matter. It just gives you another spot to tuck things, and it looks cute. It was a hair long, so I trimmed it. I did nick the bottom of the page. That's going to happen, you guys. That's the beauty of handmade. You're supposed to be crafting and relaxing, not stressing over perfection. So have some fun. Then I'm organizing the scraps and looking, okay, what do I have to work with? So at this point, we've hit 45 minutes. I still have a timer running with Alexa, but I'm also just trying to decide, okay, what's my strategy? Do I want to finish anything here? And I think we're pretty much done. Oh, a couple scraps to put in the cute little pocket. And that's it. So I think you could make a gift for somebody like this in 1 hour. You just get a paper collection. The trick is to pick your paper in advance. And this paper wasn't very directional, so I could fold up the bottoms and make those pockets. If all your papers are directional, then you have to not fold to make your pockets. You have to glue them on like I did with the tuck spot. Then I decide the cream colored letters should go with this. I don't use my alphabet stickers on cards, but I do use them on journals and scrapbook pages, and I think they're fun to have in a kit if you're going to buy something off of Etsy and have stuff that matches it. This one I cut down just because I wanted it to fit in the book, and I cut it shorter than a page, but that's okay. If you watch the Basic Gray collaboration video, you'll get some other insights to this journal and see what I did after this. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.